So I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up. And
Diddy adopted a white child. What's your last name? What's your other last name?
On a little girl named Ava Grace Baldwin.
Y'all can't see this is trafficking?
She was just 6 years old when she was reported missing from her elementary school in Texas.
The tooth fairy will come and get it.
Yes, it's breaking news.
on the streets, and then Papa Combs.
A white girl off the streets and adopting her and calling her his own?
The indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
Saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside.
Is Diddy's adopted child the missing Ava Baldwin? Their age progression lines up with the same facial structure and how she was on the streets. But could there really be any truth to this? People are concerned, and Ava's safety is at the center of it all. Let's dive deep into this shocking connection and see what we uncovered.
Very, very young. So she is in fact his adopted daughter. Some are saying this woman in the background here is her mother, but nothing is confirmed. You can see she's been with him in interviews, hanging out with Diddy's daughters.
So who is Ava Baldwin? David Hopper saw his daughter, Ava Grace Baldwin, barely 6 years old last time. 8 years have gone by now, and Hopper suspects Ava's mother, Catherine Baldwin, could have taken away her and concealed her all this time. He worries Ava could not even be aware she classifies as a missing person.
She was seen everywhere with Diddy's daughter. And here's a few more. So it shows that yes, indeed, they spent time together and they grew up together. This is in fact their sister and Diddy's adopted daughter.
First reported missing in 2015, Ava's primary school contacted Hopper, worried about her missing almost 3 weeks of attendance from class. Police believe Catherine took Ava, which drove Hopper to start an 8-year search for his daughter. Keep watching, because this next revelation could turn everything upside down. Could Diddy's adopted child actually be the missing Ava Baldwin?
However, I found a video that is so suspect.
I am a great father, but I'm sleeping with the... Tell me, who do you have a crush on? Tell Daddy the truth.
Hopper recalls getting the September 2015 call from Ava's school. Learning Ava had missed 21 days, he quickly called San Antonio police to report a missing person. Officers found, shockingly, that the address Ava and Catherine had on file was an empty lot. The timeline is intriguing. 2015 aligns with the age Diddy's adopted daughter would be now, 15. With the same name, age, and a history of living on the streets, it raises serious questions about a potential connection between the two cases.
Okay, he just helping out a nice little white girl that needed some, a family. Okay. Okay. Come on, y'all. Y'all smarter than this. Y'all smarter than this.
But there's more to the story of Ava that lines up. Hopper and Catherine's relationship had been unstable. The two married briefly, and Ava was born not long after their 34-day marriage. Living in central Oklahoma, while Catherine and Ava were in San Antonio, Hopper battled to keep regular touch with his daughter. Hopper's attempts to obtain custody were repeatedly rejected, even though he hired 5 lawyers and paid over $45,000 in court expenses in Texas and Oklahoma. Hopper claims that Catherine's life grew more unpredictable as she reportedly slept in shelters, moved around, and had unsteady relationships.
If you're still not convinced that's her, here's a picture of her that her parents took. It's one of the last photos. Now, take note of her long forehead, her shortened chin, the jaw structure, the teeth, the eyebrows, the eyes, the eye color, the cheekbones, and ears. And she just also happens to be the exact right age.
First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be.
Once Hopper received a video of Catherine that we can't mention here. Child Services contacted Hopper. Hopper was only given partial custody in spite of this, therefore restricting his contact with Ava to summers and holidays. Hopper said Ava was the perfect little girl and clearly remembers the moment she discovered he was her father. She was in wonder, he said. She had no idea her dad existed. I stayed a secret from her. According to Hopper's sister, Tina Fulbright, Catherine, also referred to as Katie, was notorious for her erratic behaviors. She would move moved to another county after getting into trouble in one, Fulbright recounted. Erratic behavior from parents can significantly contribute to increased shyness and anxiety in children, as the instability often breeds insecurity and fear. Diddy's daughter, Ava, exhibits clear signs of this. There's an undeniable sense that something is off.
There's somebody out there that knows where she's at. Katie did not get out of San Antonio by herself. We believe she had help. We know that they are alive.
Hopper sought full custody in 2016 after growing worried about Ava's safety. Still, Catherine and Ava disappeared before the court procedure could finish. 7 months later, in April 2016, Catherine's silver 2014 Ford Escape was discovered left abandoned in a San Antonio park. Ava is supposedly 15 years old now, and Hopper has complete legal custody. Witness accounts and sightings. There have been reported sightings of Ava and Catherine in Florida, where Catherine allegedly attempted to hand Ava over to another couple. Similarly, recent photos and videos of Diddy's adopted daughter have sparked discussions about a potential connection, given the resemblances in appearance and age.
Really deep similarities. And if you go watch the video, the whole video, Ava actually claimed that, he just randomly found her on the street, which is,
Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
Catherine has a felony warrant for violating child custody. News Nation met with the adopted and reared apart elder daughter of Catherine. She voiced concern about Catherine and Ava. The overlapping details between Ava Baldwin's disappearance and Diddy's adopted daughter cannot be ignored. Whether it's the name, age, timeline, or shared signs of distress, the pieces of this puzzle are intriguing, leaving us all to wonder if Ava Baldwin could be hiding in plain sight. San Antonio police still handle Ava's case. Hopper is still hopeful, citing documented sightings of Ava and Catherine, one in Florida when Catherine supposedly tried to hand custody to a couple in 2016. Hopper and his family often post notes on a special Facebook page, hoping Ava might come across it eventually and understand how sorely she is missed. It's difficult to see my brother through this, Fulbright remarked. All he has ever wanted is a family. He is entitled to have his daughter in his life.
I want to know, where has this little girl been? Because we haven't seen her in a while. So my detective skills, I went to find her TikTok and try to see the videos she's been posting. So one, all of her comments for all of her videos are all right. And this particular video that I'm about to show next, I don't know why, but us clairvoyant people, it really spoke to me. She basically said that this is where all your answers are. Showing Star Island. Is this girl trapped on Star Island right now so we can't see her? Can she not leave? What's going on? And you can go look at her page and see all the other, kind of in code things that she's posting. If this girl is on Star Island and that's where all her answers are, when is the trip? Because apparently that's where all the bodies are buried.
Hopper agrees that handling Ava's disappearance's ambiguity is taxing. There are days I question she's still alive, he said, but I always respond with hope, believing God is watching over her and that she'll come home one day. The matching name, comparable age, and overlapping chronology call questions. It's interesting that Ava...
As you watch the clip that I'm about to show you, remember the charges that Diddy has been pressed with, and keep an open mind. It is disturbing.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
That was on a live stream, by the way, and afterwards Diddy tried to cover it up, but you can clearly hear her words there. He picked her up off of the street and said to come in and play with his kids. Pretty crazy, right? Especially when you consider the charges currently against Diddy, including allegations involving a 9-year-old. Would you want your daughter to be going over to Diddy's house? I imagine not. Well, in this case, it was live streamed exactly what happened, and it gets so creepy when you realize that she wasn't even there with anyone in her family, or even there necessarily to be with other children of Diddy's. She was there because he saw her and wanted her to be.
6 months is crazy.
I always come over.
Yeah. And it's Ava Baroni Combs.
That's the most creepy part right there. He kisses her on camera, it's on the cheek, but that right there alludes to this potentially being grooming. That's what it feels like to me. Now, if I'm wrong and you get a different vibe, feel free to comment that down below. But the vibe I overwhelmingly get here is that he is trying to set this up to be with her. Now that we know the charges against him, all the things he has allegedly done, the feds have gone after him pretty hardcore. We've also seen footage of him literally beating up a woman. That's on camera. So we know what he's capable of. That's terrifying. She's in his house. He's touching her. He's kissing her cheek. He thinks he's invincible. He feels comfortable live streaming it. Oh, the whole world can see. Is he trying to brag about it? This is crazy. And it was allowed to go on for how long? How many people knew about this? Well, the answer, according to one of the lawyers involved, is a lot of people not only knew about it, but also participated in it. We were talking about very high-profile names that will shock you. The justice that the kids deserve is finally here. It's going to be very, very, very important that we fight harder than ever.